Hello, and welcome to One Cool Thing, PC Mag's daily show where we talk to you about one cool thing that we've been reviewing and testing out here in PC Labs. And today we have a really cool thing. Not only is it cool, but it is extremely, extremely light. Not on your wallet, though. We'll get to all that a bit later. I'm Tom Brandt. This is Matt Buzzy. And we would like to talk to you about the LG Gram 15 laptop. And we would also like you to ask us any questions that you might have about it or anything else. Put those in the comments in the Facebook stream, or if you're watching this later somewhere else on the internet. Sorry, we can't answer your comments live, but come back tomorrow at 10 a.m. and we can answer them then. So, the LG Gram 15, extremely light laptop, extremely big. Why should you? Well, yeah. What do we have here?
Yeah, this is like the I think the third iteration of this. It was like a 14-inch, then a 15-inch. Now it's like the revamp of the 15-inch. It's 2.4 pounds, which you can't really express like how light that feels for a 15-inch laptop. It feels like it weighs nothing.
The only way thing that I can think of to talk about that is that 2.4 pounds is light for a 13-inch laptop, which is the majority of ultra portables out there. Weigh about 2.5 to 3 pounds, and they're 13 inches. The fact that this weighs less than most of those and is 2 inches bigger, that is incredible. Yeah,
it feels like plastic, but it's like a carbon alloy thing going on, so it's not actually plastic, so it's not like not cheaping out on in that regard. No, it doesn't necessarily feel like some of the premium metal builds, but it is it feels somewhere in between, I would say.
Yeah.
And the bezel's super small as well, so like just even though it is a 15-inch laptop, it's not actually bigger. They can fit the 15-inch screen in kind of a smaller footprint, which helps keeps it light also. But yeah, you said not light on your wallet. It is $19.99. It's a $2,000 laptop.
Wow.
Yeah, so obviously a lot of that's going to the design and weight, but it has two 512 gigabyte SSDs, so a terabyte of storage. Has 16 gigs of RAM. It has a not Coffee Lake, but 8th generation Kaby Lake R processor.
Of a Core i7, right?
Yeah, i7. So it's fast, and the battery life is also excellent. It was 16 hours on the rundown test.
So this is,
it's light, which obviously if you have something light that you want to take with you because it's light and portable, you also want it to last a long time, so they nailed that.
So spec-wise, basically what you're looking at is a $2,000 computer that's very similar to the highest end specs you'd expect from Dell or Apple. I mean, especially two separate SSDs. I'm assuming those are, on an M.2 slot or something because there's really not much room in there.
Right.
But that, yeah, so, if you are in the market for the best, large screen laptop, arguably this is better than the MacBook Pro, which weighs like, what, 5 pounds or something.
Yeah, it's about half the weight of the XPS 15 Touch
and the
15-inch MacBook Pro, kind of the points of comparison for this. Both are a little more expensive. The Dell's only like $25 more expensive, but the MacBook Pro, as we reviewed it, was like $700 more expensive.
Wow.
So
and no touchscreen.
Right, yeah. This is also a touchscreen.
Yeah, so what about this screen here? What is
it's 1080p. It looks good. It's sharp. It's a little glossy. You're going to touch it, so it might get some fingerprints.
Tons of reflections.
Yeah, it's not a matte finish, so it is kind of glossy. It actually helps you like not see the fingerprints. Sometimes, but if you catch it in a certain light, definitely reflective and fingerprinty.
And we have the brightness up all the way, but it is kind of a dark background. But I mean, I'm looking at the icons. It definitely, the colors definitely pop on here.
LG, they make TVs. They know how to make a screen.
Yeah, I was going to say this. I mean, the LG display is great. It does not cool your breakfast down though, which is what many LG products, mainly fridges, are known for.
Shame.
I don't believe there's any integration with a fridge or a TV with. Well, actually, yeah, TV. I mean, I'm sure you can beam content to your TV. So I see a very small touchpad, though. It seems like there's a lot of room.
It could have been bigger. I don't think it's like especially tiny, but it's not. Yeah, it's not big for how much room they have.
Compared to the MacBook Pro touchpad.
Well, the MacBook Pro would be
massive.
like, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, the keyboard's pretty good. There's just a squash number pad here, but at least they got one on there. The power button also doubles as a fingerprint reader.
Oh, that's great.
Hidden in there. All these little things sort of add to the price.
Yeah.
Or that helps justify the cost.
Yeah, looks like we've got a question.
Does it run hot?
It runs a little hot. It kind of cools down when you stop doing something intensive, though. Like it's a little warm, but it's not. Like during testing, it got hot. It was noted that it got hot, but it didn't. It doesn't seem to be a problem. It cools right back down. I don't think it got especially loud.
Yeah, I mean, one of the advantages of such a thin machine is that the fans are tiny, and it's going to generate heat, but not that much thanks to the newer processors are extremely thermally efficient. So if you are, say, like rendering a video or doing something that's taxing the processor, it's going to cool right back down once it stops doing that.
Right.
I mean, I didn't use it on my lap. I haven't. I don't know if you've used it either, but it's not going to burn your
no, it's
your
warm.
lap.
And it might get like a little hot. It's not
Yeah.
dangerous. There's 2 levels of key backlighting also. Also going onto the ports.
Oh yeah, we should talk about the rest of this physical stuff here.
2 USB 3.0 and SD card slot, so you can add whatever you want as far as storage. HDMI, USB-C, and that's with Thunderbolt 3, and another USB. So it's pretty well outfitted with ports. I mean, it's kind of all you'd want out of a. I don't know what it's missing. There's no glaring exclusions.
And those are it's similar to the XPS 15 port selection wise, but I think much better than the MacBook Pro, which basically is going to get you 4 USB-C ports, and that's it.
Right.
This has a dedicated power jack, and regular USB-A Type A ports, which is great. Now, as far as durability, the LG Gram is well known now after the 3 years for being the thinnest and lightest laptops out there. That's why they call them the Gram. Like, what if and you're supposed to carry them around? So how durable is it?
It is rated for now forgetting the name of the exact. It is rated for they did do stress testing on it.
The military X1 MG.
I forget which one exactly, but we could pull it up in the review. But it is they did do some stress testing on it just because it's light and it's not like gonna break very easily. We obviously didn't want to throw it around and what have you, but it did get some certification for.
It feels sturdy. I mean, there's no this is not like carbon fiber or any synthetic alloy metal, but I mean the screen. There's very little flex in the screen. Oh, there's a bit of flex.
It's carbon magnesium alloy.
Carbon magnesium. Oh, okay.
So it is.
So it's not plastic.
No, it's not plastic. One con in the review, which was by the way written by Charles Jeffries. You can find the whole thing online.
Yes.
His other con is that it's a little conventional looking, a little boring. I could kind of see that. I'm trying to remember if the old one said Gram or if they said LG. I feel like that might be a new change, but I can't quite remember for sure. Yeah, it's gray. I mean, it's business looking laptop. It's not same as the MacBook color.
Yeah.
So
are there any color options? I think this is pretty much it.
I think this might be it.
And there's really no options either for the configurations either. You're paying $2,000.
Yeah.
And you're getting very capable.
Well, yeah, we reviewed a specific model, the 15Z 980. I'm not sure which other models are out there.
Right.
I could see that it's not the flashiest thing. I do think the XPS and like a MacBook Pro feel a little more high end because it's expensive and that's for the performance and the design, but not really for the look so much. So if that bothers you, but if you really do value it being super portable, I think over anything that makes a lot of sense because it's. I mean, it couldn't be.
You want to toss it?
Couldn't be lighter.
There we go. This is proof about just how thin and light this is.
How thin and
Look no further than a toss test.
That's what LG does in their labs. That's what they just toss it back and forth all day, and once it passes the test, they ship it out.
It cannot, however, correct me if I'm wrong, but it cannot flip around.
Not convertible.
This is not a convertible.
It is a touchscreen.
So we don't recommend buying such a big laptop in a convertible format because it's very unwieldy to use as a tablet. But if you do want that, the XPS 15 is the way to go.
This is the extent of the hinge. It's a normal laptop display, but it is touch.
Let's take another question.
Does LG make convertible laptops?
I don't think so.
We haven't reviewed any recently within the past year.
The Gram's the only one I recall myself getting through.
The LG Gram comes in 2 different screen sizes, right? It comes in the 14 inch in this 15 inch.
Yeah.
But they are just standard laptops. I mean, to me, like if you're going for those bigger sizes, I don't want to hold those in my hand as a laptop.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, as a tablet.
And they're not like the most plane tray friendly for like converting around for a tablet. They're just a little unwieldy. It is the fact that it's lighter. It does help if you're going to flip it back and do sort of a one arm. But we've reviewed some 15-inch convertibles.
The XPS 15 has a convertible.
And they're fine. It's an option. You might find some niche use case that feels comfortable to do. But more generally speaking, it's a little unwieldy. But at least, like I said, at least this one's lighter. So if you're doing it in one arm, it's not gonna be most tiring.
And then the other comparison I think that we should probably mention is from Microsoft. The Surface Book 2 is probably, although it's a very different form factor. It's a detachable in terms of power, style,
Price
thinness,
point,
and price point,
all in the
that
same
is,
ballpark.
is very it's around $2,000, $2+.
And that was one of the only other things that had as good of a battery as well. The battery
Right.
lasted a super long time.
Yeah, I mean, 16 hours, that's incredible.
16 hours is a long time. But yeah, our video rundown test is playing a video for until the battery dies. So with a number of settings to make sure they're all the same. But yeah, it's 16 hours of continual video playback, so that's pretty good. The MacBook Pro was only like an hour off that, but most fall well short of that.
Yeah. Now, the last thing I guess we should talk about is performance. I mean, spending $2,000 on a computer, on a desktop computer certainly, would get you a screaming machine that can play games
For sure.
and finish any task that you have in minutes. Don't quote me on that. Now, what does this get you in terms of
it is, like I said, it's Kaby Lake R, so it's 8th gen, but it's 4 cores. It's not the new Coffee Lake 6 core. It is fast. It was it's up there for the performance. I don't think it was the fastest necessarily on any particular test. I will say something for me, because again, Charles reviewed this.
Yeah, our colleague Charles Jeffries reviewed this.
Yes. His comparisons, like I said, were the Dell and the MacBook Pro, the main ones. Those have the MacBook has an AMD card, which is like okay, but the XPS 15 Touch has a GTX 1050 in it, which is like a decent card.
Yeah, a 10 series graphics card is a world difference.
Right, and it's for $25 more than this. So this has double. This does have double the storage that the Dell has. So that's, and obviously the lightness. So that's where some of the design differences come in. But for a lot of people, that discrete graphics card could be much more appealing than a little extra storage.
Yeah, I mean you're giving and really the trade-off there is weight. Right? Because the XPS 15
like
is still stylish, but it's what you'd expect a 15-inch laptop to weigh, and they're able to, as a result, they're able to fit in a 10 series graphics card.
Yeah.
For my money, I would kind of gravitate towards that.
It gives you an option at least. You can play games on the side. You can use it for multiple things, but
unless you really are just traveling all the time and you need a big screen.
You need a big screen and it's light and the battery lasts a super long time. There are plenty of people also, conversely, who wouldn't really be interested in a discrete graphics card. They don't play games, they don't really do anything. So this is the better travel system just because of how thin and light and long lasting it is. But I could definitely just wanted to make note of that the Dell, for basically the same price, does get you a discrete graphics card, a pretty good one too.
Unquestionably better specs, basically. But that said, this is an Editor's Choice Award. It is an incredible machine. I'm not sure if the last year's got an Editor's Choice, but this one definitely does. And so, you can't go wrong if you are prepared to spend that kind of money for a thin and light laptop.
Yeah, it is expensive. You have to want the portability, you have to want the thinness. So just make sure you know what you're shopping for before you go buying things.
Yeah, so this is the LG Gram 15. Thank you for asking questions. I think we're all good in terms of the questions, so we will go ahead and wrap it up. Check out the full review at pcmag.com, and thanks for watching today, and come back tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern on Facebook, where we will have yet another one cool thing for you. Okay, let's do it again. And again.